Hello! In this video, I will give you my Fnaf Plus wishlist. What does that mean? Well, it's basically what I think would be cool or what I want to see in Fnaf Plus. Keep in mind, a lot of things on my wishlist are not going to be in the game, and I get that. This isn't what I expect to see in Fnaf Plus, just what I think would be cool. It's fine if most things on my wishlist won't actually be in the game. Some things on my wishlist are straight up unreasonable to ask for. If you want to, comment down what you wanna see in FNAF Plus. I just think it's fun to talk about what would be cool to see in FNAF Plus. I don't expect these things in the game. I will go from most likely to least likely to be in the game, because some of the things on my list have a much larger chance of being in the game than others. So without further ado, let's start. I think having some 8-bit minigames like in previous FNAF games would be pretty cool. These can either be creepy secret minigames that feature lore, like in FNAF 2, or maybe even playable arcade machines where you have to go for the high score. Some creepy secret minigames that have some made up lore, like for example minigames of the animatronics killing people where they hunt you down, would be pretty cool and a very nice addition. And minigames where you can get a high score would be pretty cool. Like for example the minigames in Five Nights at Candy's Free, with or without the hidden minigames they have within. I feel like that would be pretty cool and a fun addition to have in the extras menu. I would not mind if they were just simple minigames without creepy secret stuff inside. I just think it would be neat. Maybe even a cool background like in Pop Goes Arcade. I think that would be wonderful and really cool. I also think it would be nice if we got a very in-depth extras menu. What do I mean by that? Well, imagine the extras menu but with a ton of content. The game isn't limited by using click team anymore, so it means it can have much more content inside of it. I'd like a way to listen to the game's soundtrack. I think it would be cool to be able to listen to every track in the game at a moment's notice while playing the game, just by going into the extras menu. I know you could just look up the soundtrack on the internet, but I feel like it would be cool to be able to access it in the game. Another thing is seeing the teasers that are on the FNAF Plus YouTube channel. I think it would be really cool to be able to watch these teasers inside the extras menu, as a way to look back on the teasers. I'm surprised previous FNAF games that used images for teasers didn't have them in the extras menu, even though they were just images. I mean, Scott, you could have just thrown the PNGs in there. Hey, you know how you were able to see how the models were made? Cool, right? Well, what if FNAF Plus expanded on that idea and not only showed us how the animatronics were made, but also the locations. I think it would be really cool to see, because previous FNAF games that showed how the models were made only showed the animatronics, not the locations. I think it would be totally cool to see how the locations were made, and possibly even early scrapped versions of them. I mean, look at all of this detail here. It would be fascinating to see it being made. Like in FNAF 4, from Ball to Demon. The first FNAF game had many Easter eggs, so I feel like FNAF Plus should too. FNAF Plus could have similar Easter eggs to FNAF 1, like for example the posters changing into creepy images or creepy messages, or maybe some inanimate objects like the stuff in the parts and service room looking at you. Some ideas for brand new Easter eggs that I have that were not in FNAF 1 are maybe random noises. Like for example hearing a bunch of pots and pans or plates falling down for a split second. Stuff to creep out the player. Another idea is the poster in your office suddenly turning creepy, with the animatronics getting their eyes removed and the poster overall becoming less bright. I think this would be really creepy and spook a lot of players that get the Easter egg. Or an Easter egg where the lights in your office shut off for a couple of seconds. I think that would be really scary because sudden darkness is creepy, especially when there could be a giant animatronic ready to kill you at any second right outside your office. I think Easter eggs were and are a cool part of previous FNAF games. So I feel like it would be cool if FNAF Plus continued the trend of having a bunch of Easter eggs. That brings us to another thing I would like to see, a developer commentary. This could either be just posted on YouTube or be inside the extras menu. I'm thinking like how the One Night at Flumpty's developer commentaries were, where FizzNam could talk about how making the game was like, where he got certain ideas from, that kind of stuff. It would be really cool to get a developer commentary for the game, because from the teasers we got, it seems like the game is going to look amazing and have a lot of polish. When you beat a night in FNAF 1, you get the famous 6 AM chime, and then get taken right into the next night. I feel like this is sort of lame. So what if we had in-between night cutscenes? You could have a short cutscene to look forward to after beating a night. They could be creepy videos of the animatronics acting strangely, or they could just be of them performing. I feel like there is a lot of fun possibilities, and it would make beating a night more rewarding, because you get to see a nice cutscene. I mean, we never got to see the animatronics perform in Help Wanted, so why not get it in FNAF Plus? Fnaf has already showed that he is very talented at making these things. I mean, just look at all of these teasers, they are amazing. So I just think having cutscenes after the night's end would be cool. I would also like to see a new phone guy. Since Fnaf didn't get Scott Cawthon to voice phone guy in FNAF Plus, it's safe to assume the game will use the FNAF 1 phone calls. But what if you could choose between the FNAF 1 phone calls and an entirely brand new phone guy? Yes, it might be a bit difficult to get the phone guy charm, but if people wouldn't like the new phone guy, they could just switch it to the original in the settings, for example. Some different dialogue would be pretty cool. I mean, I am afraid to admit how many times I heard the famous Night 1 phone call. I think it would be a nice addition, and maybe the phone guy could have a darker tone that would fit the game's more creepy atmosphere. FNAF Plus is obviously a remake of FNAF, so I feel like it should not only improve on the visual side of the game, but also on the gameplay side. You only check the cameras for Foxy and for Freddy. You don't even have to be on Foxy's camera to prevent him from moving, so it's just looking at Freddy. If FNAF Plus gave the player more of a reason to look at other cameras and maybe check to see where Bonnie and Chica are, I feel like that would make the gameplay a lot better, because then you would have to use all of the cameras. As we can see from the teasers, there will be something that turns off or breaks our cameras. I am not sure if it's something in the custom night or the main game, but I think it means that the cameras are going to be much more important in the game, because why turn off some of the player's cameras if it wouldn't really hinder the player too much? So we know that the game will release on PC, but what if the game got console ports? It might be difficult to make, but it would be really cool if this game was on console and maybe even mobile. If they got Help Wanted to work for Nintendo Switch and got Security Breach to work for the PS4 and Xbox One, I think there's a good chance that they will get FNAF Plus to work on those consoles. I mean, come on, it's a FNAF game, and not one like Help Wanted or Security Breach that has tons of large areas for the player to explore. It's just gonna be the sit and survive gameplay like the originals. Moving on, other modes. What do I mean by that? Well, it is a very, and I mean it, very far-fetched idea, but I think it would be cool. What if there was a mode where you had to find out which animatronic was possessed by a ghost, for example while defending from them, and the ghost can leave some traces and clues for the player. You lose if you don't find the ghost by 6 AM. I know what you're thinking. Juniors, the FNAF fan game that does almost exactly what I just described. But I think it would be cool to see in FNAF Plus, especially since we saw a ghost detector in the breaking and entering teaser. Another idea I have for a mode is a restaurant manager mode. Hear me out on this one. Although it would take a mountain of time and effort to make, it would be cool if the main campaign had a side mode where while trying to survive the nights, you also needed to hire staff, buy new attractions, all of that stuff. Kind of like Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. I know that this is not going to be in the game, but the point of this video is just to have fun making cool ideas. Maybe even stuff like making sure the animatronics don't damage themselves in the night section would be really cool to see. Those are two of my ideas for other FNAF Plus modes. Basically, Juniors and Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator Tycoon mode. Keep in mind that everything I just said is not something I'm expecting in the game. It's perfectly fine if all of these things end up not being in the game. This video is just made for fun. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I would really appreciate it if you liked, commented, or maybe even subscribed. I could not get a Christmas themed video out in time, but Oh well, I always have next year. This was GameSpeaking, and goodbye.